there's almost not a question here. So I'm going to do my best to answer it, okay? He said, I heard you describe how you've played with 2 weeks out, sort of max in the classical lifts, then moved out to 3 weeks for clean and jerk, then just went with how much more can I really do? He talks about pre-meet stuff, and it's a little vague. I almost feel like a paragraph was missing. But one thing I'd like to talk about, Dante, is this. When I was young, when I was first Olympic lifting, Dick Notmeyer would have me go up to my openers. If we had a weightlifting meet on Saturday, we would go to our openers on Wednesday and sometimes Friday, the day before a meet. Well, that works really well if you're a young kid and you're snatching, at the time I was snatching 100 kilos, 105 kilos, 220, 231. I was opening in the clean and jerk with 120 kilos, 264. So the loads weren't very good. A couple months later, of course, I'm opening with 135 kilos, 297 pounds, 300 pounds. And not long after that, I'm opening with 100 in the clean and jerk. And not long after that, I'm opening with 145 kilos in the clean and jerk. And I could no longer get to those numbers on Friday. I couldn't get there on Wednesday either. I couldn't get there on Monday. And then we started to slowly move that last test workout back. Well, when I hit a certain age, that age was 30, I started doing what Tommy Kono advises in his wonderful book over there, Weightlifting Olympic Style, where he says about 2 weeks out, is the last time you can go clean and jerk heavy. So I would go clean and jerk heavy to the 2 openers or even heavier, 2 weeks out, and then a week out snatch. Then later I found out, because, this is when I was opening with 165 kilos, 363 pounds, that I could clean that 2 weeks out. But if I clean and jerked it, I was exhausted. So Dante, and of course now, as I Olympic lift at my age in my late 60s, I don't. The only time I take my openers is on the platform at a meet, and the openers are the heaviest I do for months, because I can clean and jerk at a meet, but I can't clean and jerk in training. I never seem to recover. So this is one of the great things I like about and love about Olympic lifting, is it gives you a chance to choose when you want to put everything on the table. I choose to only go heavy when there's 3 officials, there's a crowd of people, there's a weigh-in, and I'm wearing a singlet and my weightlifting boots, and I have my little card. That to me is how you do it. When I was young, I could go in and max, 3 days a week and get away with it and make progress. So Dante is one of those things, and I'm not saying it's age only, it's also accomplishment. So age and accomplishment. If you're learning the Olympic lifts and you've got, 9 sessions under your belt, and your coach says, this is what Dick did to me, by the way, Dick Notmeyer. He said, hey, we got a weightlifting meet in 3 weeks. You need to get a weightlifting card. Okay. You need to get this. Okay. And you get that. Okay. And 3 weeks later, I was on the platform. And I think that was the first time I snatched body weight, was at that first meet, and I clean and jerked 105 kilos, which was 231. I went 6 for 6, and I went 17 for 18 in my first 3 meets, which were all within about the first 6 weeks that I'd ever seen the lifts performed. And again, that's one of those stories. Oh, what a wonderful boy I am. But what I want to get across on that is, when you're first learning, you can go heavier a lot often. And then it starts to change a little bit. I had a really great talk with a Bulgarian weightlifting coach. This is a long time ago, but he laughed when he heard me say, and he goes, "You Americans, you don't understand." Yes, they went to max every day. The daily max. It wasn't their lifetime best. It wasn't the Olympic final. They went as heavy as they could. If it didn't look good, that was it. The day was done. That particular lift was done. So they went to, and they expected, of course, at the elite level, for them to make big lifts in training. So as you accomplish more and more and more, you can't train as heavy all the time. as you age, the thing changes. I'm sure we could probably come together with some kind of matrix or something like that. But the idea is as you get better and better in any sport, you lose your ability to have those quality number of maxes. My senior year at Utah State, I was throwing the hammer and I was throwing the shot put. And I was also, my senior year, I got all A's out of 4.0, which is, which was what I was there for. I had a very busy social life and things were great. What I noticed my senior year is I had 6 good throws in the discus every day. What you might miss was this was the 8th year of me throwing. And I had years where I wouldn't be surprised in junior college where if I would have thrown 100 times a day, most of the days of the week. 2 years later, 3 years later, when I'm throwing much farther, workouts of 58 to 62 meters in training. Sometimes if the winds were good, I got 6 throws in me and I was done because the quality was so high that when I dropped off either, I don't want to call it fatigue, but okay, that was a good throw. Okay, that was a good throw. And all of a sudden, if throws started to go down, I didn't want to be out there training on bad technique. So I stopped. This is the second question in a row in this podcast where I feel like I'm all over the place. But both questions allowed me a lot of, directions to go. And I hope I answered your question okay, Dante. Always appreciate when you send them in.